Hi, my name is Bob Onspach, the chair of the Alliance for MetroWest Unity, an organization that is nonprofit and founded some 30 years ago for the purpose of accepting the community in which we lived and trying to change and alter it by bringing about a sense of acceptance and unity in diversity. The founder of our organization was a John P. Garrahan, who was then the president of the Chamber of Commerce and senior lawyer on what is now known as the MetroWest Bar Association. John had a vision. Much of the news in those 30 years ago dedicated themselves to recognizing the things that kids were involved in which might not have been healthy. They had made unhealthy choices. John said, let us give some recognition to students who are doing good things within their schools and in their community. Thus was formulated the John P. Garrahan Community Prayer Breakfast. Since then, the established community has accepted us. We only had 4 schools at that time. There were Framingham North, Framingham South, Keith Vocational Technical School, and Marion High School. Now we've expanded ourselves to 15 schools in the surrounding MetroWest area. Many of the schools have been asked to submit the name of a student who they felt has lived up to our dream of what could be a good community. These kids have done work in diversity, in acceptance. They've done work dealing with the issues of prejudice and hate against violence. They've dealt with issues against the idea that all people should be accepted regardless of race, creed, color, national origin, or sexual orientation. To this end was established this prayer breakfast. In the past, the organization held its event up at the Sheraton Framingham, and at one point we had more than 400 people attending that program. And thanks to our sponsors, each of the schools was given a table that they could have family members of that student and faculty attend the breakfast. We also had the band from Cameron Middle School Jazz Band, which presented themselves at the band and provided us music throughout the ceremony. As you know, that was the band that played at the beginning of our session today. Thanks to Christine Dupuis, who was the directress. There is much to be said for what this breakfast is doing. We have tried to do things that promote the good things that kids are doing. These kids are being recognized in many ways. One, they will receive a certificate from us. They will also receive an opportunity to attend Framingham State University with tuition assistance. These, along with the fact that they have been working hard and diligently in their schools, makes this event that much more important. We've got in presenting our program today and starting our program, we will have the Framingham Police Honor Guard, who will present the colors, followed by Lonnie Powell, who will be our vocalist today and do the national anthem. That will be followed up by Rabbi Allison Poirier from Temple Beth Shalom, who will give our invocation. We ask that you sit back and enjoy and watch this ceremony. If you're not able to watch it all today, it will be on our Facebook and you can watch it at any time. I ask you again, thanks to the supporters for their efforts in making this possible. Thanks to Framingham Access Television for presenting this program, and to all who took the time and effort. Most importantly, I want to thank the students, many of whom sent us pictures of their work and their programs that they've done. From these students, we will select one student from the class of 2000, of the honorees of the 2020 and the honoree of the 2021, who will give a talk on diversity. We were selected by the members of the committee. I also want to thank the steering committee, whose names will appear later on in this program. So thanks to everyone for being here. We hope you enjoy the program. And now, the Framingham Police Honor Guard. I now ask our national anthem to be sung by Lonnie Powell.
Oh, Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous strife o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now, if you please remain standing and like to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The honor guard is dismissed.
Good morning. I'm Rabbi Allison Poirier from Temple Beth Shalom. Thank you so much for inviting me to give the invocation this morning. I'm recording this video a few days before the Jewish holiday of Passover, which celebrates the Israelites' journey from slavery in Egypt to freedom in the Promised Land. Our tradition teaches us that when the Israelites left Egypt, they were not alone. They were accompanied by what the text calls a mixed multitude. This means that there were lots of people from all different traditions and all different backgrounds who helped bring us out of slavery. I think this is the perfect tradition to start our breakfasts this morning because it reminds us that each of us celebrates our religion, our faith, our heritage, our identity with the help and support of others. That's why events like this are so important. So as we begin this morning, I want to say thank you for inviting me and thank you for all of the things that you do in our beautiful city that help me and help each other celebrate our faith and our identity to the fullest.
Good morning. Since 1993, the Alliance for MetroWest Unity has invited the community to celebrate student leaders in diversity and welcome their families, friends, and schools, area clergy, business and civic leaders, educational leaders, police and judicial representatives, and other community supporters who gather, reflect upon, and celebrate unity, equity, inclusion, anti-discrimination, and the leadership that helps inspire these values. Since that first event, we've met approximately 450 student leaders. Today, our program honors the MetroWest leaders selected for the years 2020 and 2021 in a combined special program. First, our honorees for the year 2020, M, Elaine, Tyler, Alexis, Maria, Jack, Bryce, Ruby, Matthew, Amir, Angel, Ava, and Samantha. We congratulate you as our 2020 honorees. Well done. And now to Andrew, Juno, Jerome, Marisol, Lisa, Roma, Sebaskar, Clarissa, Tyler, Tara, Jabari, Daniela, Favor, Michael, and Bridget. We welcome you as our 2021 honorees. We are very proud of you. To each of you, we wish you all the best as you complete your high school journey in one of the most unusual times to be a student, and cheer you as you move on to your adult lives. Your schools and communities are already transformed because of you. You go to different MetroWest schools, but you are among kindred spirits, among today others who also lead in how to treat others with respect. We are grateful for your leadership. These leaders were nominated by their schools because of a range of ways they make the world safe for human difference and be more fair and more welcoming. The work of these young people is what will change our world. Some examples of their leadership include Jack and Angel's work through Best Buddies, Special Olympics, and other inclusive sports programs, which result in fuller participation and increased quality of school and community life for persons with disabilities, as well as true and life-altering friendships. Tara, Tyler, and Michael's leadership and creation of performance of athletic-based opportunities for inclusion through music and sports. Ruby, Clarissa, Alexis, Elaine, and Roma's work with younger students, modeling leadership and hope. Angel, Amir, Tyler, and Andrew's use of their personal experience and perspective to increase awareness and encourage societal mindset changes. Jerome, Sabaskar, and Matthew's work bridging communication across generations with seniors in their communities. Ava and Bridget's leadership on a global level to advance girls' education, Ava along with students from Gambia and Bridget through Girl Up. Samantha, M, Bryce, Marisol, Juno, Maria, Lisa, and Sabaskar's leadership among underrepresented affinity groups, where they lead difficult conversations on equality, provide a voice for inclusion, work on student-led initiatives, and increase participation for all students. And Daniela, Jabari, and Favor's deep engagement in social justice. We commend each of you for your hearts, your ability to inspire others, to treat others the way people should be treated, and we appreciate you for your determination to build a community without prejudice and with inclusion, equity, and respect. You have begun life-defining roles as people who use their gifts and energy to create a better future. We congratulate the schools, parents, guardians, and families for all you have done to nurture and develop these leaders. My father, John Garrahan, is very much with us in spirit today, as are our other very beloved founding members no longer with us. We know that if they were here, they would be so delighted to know about each of you. Thank you again to our honorees, and thank you to each of you watching for being here to share this event.
Diversity is about giving people a chance,
Hi, my name is Evelyn Bruno.
Hi everyone, my name is Samantha Wang.
whether those people come from different corners of the earth or different shades of the human color palette.
For a purpose greater than ourselves.
It means understanding that each individual is unique.
Suppose we surround ourselves only with people of the same opinions, experiences, and cultures. How can we elevate ourselves to a higher level, whether in the workplace, in our social circles, in schools, or even within ourselves?
Just to share, when I came to school in America, I was shocked to find that I was the only black male student on campus. That hit me, but what also did hit me was when some of my peers told me that I was their first time meeting either a black boy or Bahamian native. Of course, my first thought was to not screw up their first impression. That is when I realized that I'd been given a chance to make a statement that all black men and young black boys are not hoodie-wearing thugs with their pants below their waists, always playing with guns and drugs. I took the chance to display that black men are positive leaders, confident and assertive, negotiators about their business, entrepreneurs, caring, and will still let you know what time it is.
By coming together, we all achieve the same goal of helping others. But why?
It's about understanding each other and moving beyond simple tolerance to embracing and celebrating the rich dimensions of diversity contained within each individual.
The experiences and perspectives that reside within our peers are some of the most beautiful stories I've ever listened to and continue to do so with great admiration. In times of collaboration, it doesn't matter one's religion, ethnicity, race, sexuality. It matters that representation in its entirety is upheld and unquestioned.
Sometimes we can put down the need to be heard and listen to the differences of others. We will never be able to do that if we never rest down our words and our bold statements and listen to the other bold and community-defining ambitions and perspectives. Taking that chance also meant that we can have representation and leadership from young men of color that look like me for the first time in God knows how long. Then and only then can we educate ourselves about the worlds of true diversity. This is why I say diversity is evolving. It is not always as black and white as we think it is. It has many layers. So it is up to us to allow ourselves to experience it and a little less of driving it with our experiences.
Hi everyone, my name is Samantha Wang, and I am a senior from St. Mark's School. To me, the concept of diversity means acceptance and respect. It means understanding that each individual is unique and recognizing our individual differences. These can be along the dimensions of race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, physical disabilities, and or other ideologies. It is the exploration of these differences in a safe and positive environment. It's about understanding each other and moving beyond simple tolerance to embracing and celebrating the rich dimensions of diversity contained within each individual. Nowadays, we live in a community of people with vastly different backgrounds and life experiences. And as we live in any globalized, diverse community, there are bound to be moments of friction, from the small everyday things we mentioned to discussing world events. It's not the end of the world if we call someone the wrong name or feel like we did something insensitive. Just apologize and be honest. And it's totally okay to feel uncomfortable when someone else makes a mistake. Just point it out to them in a respectful way. Mistakes are okay because mistakes are human. The real question is, why do we have this issue, and can we take action to correct it or improve the situation? What's not okay is to stop trying or to shame and blame others for their mistakes. What's also important in today's world to continue our work toward becoming anti-racist is that we educate ourselves, name injustices such as this, speak against racism, misogyny, and xenophobia, and stand in solidarity with targets and victims of hate crimes. It's not the minorities group's responsibility to educate everyone. Through cultural education, we need to recognize that personal, cultural, and institutionalized discrimination creates and sustains privileges for some, while creating and sustaining disadvantages for others. Then we should build alliances across differences so that we can work together to eradicate all forms of discrimination. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Favorite Ejoms, and today we'll be talking about what diversity means to me.
My name is Daniela Pozo.
My name is Tyler Fursland.
My name is Liza Modone.
I'm Andrew Roberts.
My name is Jabari Murphy, and I attend Natick High School.
What does diversity mean to me?
It's about creating an environment where everyone can succeed.
Diversity is being aware of the differences that you and your counterparts have and embracing them.
Diversity is the ability for all people, regardless of their differences, to be able to thrive.
Recognizing that we shouldn't ignore our differences, but instead we should embrace our differences. We must support diversity by being willing to learn and change every day.
We gain so much knowledge just by learning about what other people are going through.
I have a job. It's called BAHEC. It stands for Boston Area Health Education Center. And their whole goal is to diversify the pool of health, because it's evident that these facilities are predominantly white. And when we leave these facilities predominantly white, we see stats like how Black women are 3 times more likely to die during childbirth than a white woman.
In my limited experience, I have learned that marginalized groups have added pressures to be accepted and learn how to be comfortable in predominantly white spaces.
I don't see people like me in my honors classes or in my AP classes, and that evidently shows that we don't have the same opportunities as white Americans. So to diversify the pool of health, or to diversify anything at all, we need to make sure that we have the same opportunities as white Americans. Being a Black American, it's just obvious the gap between the opportunities my white friends have versus the opportunities that my Black friends have.
We need to identify the people at a disadvantage and advocate on their behalf for the same opportunities. As a Brazilian in Framingham, I've had the privilege of growing up in a community surrounded by many people that share my culture, but also by many others who don't. And in our differences, we have built a city with a wide range of opportunity.
Put in the effort and try your best to strive for diversity, not only because it is important, but because it can be helpful.
It makes us more creative because we're able to be inspired by things that would have never inspired us in the first place if we hadn't learned about them.
The experience encourages you not only to expand your view of the world, but the view of the people within it. And that's what diversity is all about.
Diversity is about going beyond single stories of successes and striving towards systemic change that right now seems like an impossible dream.
If diversity were the default rather than just white, numerous systematic issues would cease to exist, and we could turn our attention to other problems that matter.
And even if we're not there yet, I am hopeful about the future of diversity and inclusion when I look at my peers at school who are genuinely willing to engage and the many activists working in the world.
Without diversity, society wouldn't be standing as tall as it is today.
Diversity is an ongoing topic that will never be fully satisfied or done. We must continue to push for diversity and strive to improve every day.
I'm Andrew Roberts, a 17-year-old junior at Algonquin Regional High School. To me, diversity is the ability for all people, regardless of their differences, to be able to thrive. Around the age of 2, I was diagnosed with autism, and my parents were told I may never speak. My parents refused to believe this, and they enrolled me in the home-based program at the New England Center for Children, also known as NECC, a local school for autistic children, in hopes I could overcome some of my challenges and learn to talk. I made fast progress, and by the time I was 3, not only was I talking, I was reading. Thanks to the help I received at NECC, I was able to begin public preschool with support at the age of 3. Ever since then, I have received support through an individualized education plan, also known as an IEP. When I began public school, I faced many challenges that made it hard for me to succeed, but each year I have made progress with the help of amazing teachers, therapists, aides, community members, and specialized services both in and out of school. I will always be autistic, and I still have challenges today. Even though I have come out of my comfort zone socially, it has not always been easy for me at Algonquin. I think that because I'm openly autistic and kept to myself in the past, I'm perceived in a certain way by others. This has made it a struggle to find truly genuine friendships throughout most of my life. In recent years, I have worked hard to put labels like shy, socially awkward, and reclusive behind me, and as a result, I have started to develop meaningful relationships. However, I can't always control how I'm perceived, and I still feel there are some peers that act insincerely towards me and others with disabilities. Roughly 1 in 50 have been diagnosed with autism, but I think there are more autistic people out there who are either afraid to get diagnosed or afraid to disclose their diagnosis. They may be scared to be treated differently because of this label. If neurodiverse individuals were treated the same way as anyone else, they would have more opportunities to be valuable friends, co-workers, leaders, or partners. In addition, more people with disabilities would feel confident disclosing their disability. I sometimes wonder what things would be like if I had a fresh start at a new school and never told anyone I was autistic. Despite my social challenges, I have been fortunate to have ongoing support from my family, school district, and community that have enabled me to be resilient and advocate not only for myself, but also the autism community. This help has allowed me to become the person I am today. I'm grateful that I have been given the support I need to succeed. However, not everyone with a disability who needs support has been lucky enough to receive it. Just 19.3% of those with disabilities had a job in 2019, and in 2020, due to the pandemic, those numbers decreased to 17.9%. Everyone has an opportunity to help change this inequity. I have worked to give back to the autism community, raising money for organizations like the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation for Autism, who help people and families affected by autism live life to the fullest by giving out grants to other organizations, giving autistic people the resources they need to succeed, and giving them work experience. The Flutie Foundation has been able to help me work towards a potential career in sports journalism. I have been interested in sports since I was about 5, and I've written a sports blog called Boston Sports Mania for 7 years. It was through this that I realized I wanted to become a sports journalist. In addition to my fundraising efforts for the Flutie Foundation, I have served as a reporter and ambassador for the organization as a Flutie Fellow. I hope that this fellowship leads me to a real job in professional sports journalism, which would allow me to follow my passions and inspire others with disabilities. I also hope that more people with disabilities can access whatever supports they need, not only to survive, but also to thrive. Diversity has been a focus in the last year, but there's still more that can be done to help marginalized populations succeed and feel included. And I believe that conversation should include people with disabilities. I challenge you to ask yourself, are you being inclusive for the mere sake of being inclusive, or are you genuinely interested in getting to know who the person is beyond their label? On behalf of all the award recipients, I'd like to thank the committee for celebrating all diversity at this wonderful event.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
you for joining us in this virtual event, this virtual celebration, the 27th annual Garrahan Breakfast. We thank you so much that you've been able to be with us this morning. We would have loved to have been in person, but recognizing COVID and all that's going on, it's been great to gather here. I'm sure you would agree with me as we have heard from our speakers, our youth speak today, as we have honored our recipients who have been selected by the various schools. Their work in diversity inspires all of us. So today I would say to you, as I say to these here honorees today, in the words of John Lewis, the civil rights icon, congressman, one who, yes, breathed the very breath of what it means to speak into a world to make a difference. He said, get into good trouble. I say to each of you who are honorees today, you have demonstrated you have gotten into good trouble. Now may you continue to do it. And to the broader audience of MetroWest, as you have paused long enough to celebrate with these honorees, I say to you, in the words of John Lewis, get into good trouble. We need good trouble out here that we might stem the tide of racism, hatred, and we might speak into this world to say that we will stand together in all that we do, that indeed we might celebrate the rich diversity that's found in our community. May God bless you and keep you as you continue in this struggle, and may God richly bless our young leaders today, for they represent not only our future, but our present. They remind us we too can get into good trouble. Thank you for coming, and thank you for celebrating with us.